Okay, I am back. It's time for my second YouTube episode. I'm kind of enjoying this and I hope you guys are too. So today I want to talk to you about parenting and just what my journey has been like, what my struggles are, what my reality is, what my positives are, because I don't think I'm all that much different than that many other people. So back in the day, I used to be a physical therapist and athletic trainer. And that's what I got my degrees in. I came out of grad school on fire and had these amazing job opportunities and was totally growing my career and did some really incredible things considering I worked for a total of 3 years. Then I started my family. And I made a choice. It was up to me, and I was super blessed and grateful to have the opportunity to stay home and be with my kids. And that was the choice that I made. But I had no idea what I was doing. So I had two kids, two girls, exactly 2 years apart. And they didn't come out like the manual said they would. You know, I read what to expect when you're expecting. They didn't read the book. So they came out probably remarkably normal, but I had no idea. So super overwhelming to be a relatively young parent, and also tend to have pretty high expectations for myself. I expect to be able to figure all this stuff out. You know, I'm smart, I have a lot of degrees, and figured I could do this. So it wasn't easy. So what I've found over time, and I didn't recognize it at the time, but what I've discovered is the more afraid we are, the more controlling we are. So I was really, really controlling. They couldn't leave the house without perfectly matched outfits. Not that they matched each other. I didn't do the matchy, but they had to be totally put together. There was no such thing as wearing your rain boots out if it wasn't raining. There was no pajamas unless you were sleeping. I was super controlling in so many ways, and I look back and think about the effort I put into things in all the wrong areas, because does it really matter? Pretty sure it doesn't. But that's what I did because I didn't know any better, and I was so afraid of messing these kids up. And still am. Like, don't get me wrong, still a parent, still have to worry about it all the time. But that's how it started. So then, they're growing up, and I start to realize that as they get into middle school, high school, I'm like, what do I do when they're like, I realize what's next, right? Like, I realize they're moving on. So I have to figure out how to set myself up for success. And like, what am I going to do when I grow up? Because my role as a mom is about to end, and I want to set myself up for success. So I did figure out pretty early on to surround myself with people that I could talk to, and realize that my kids were just as normal as all these other kids, and that none of us were doing it right, and none of us knew what we were doing, and having that network was pretty crucial. So then I was like, okay, I got to figure out what my next spot in life is going to be, and what's my new identity going to be as my kids get older. Happen to get really lucky and fall into a side gig that I am super passionate about, and fell into it by total dumb luck, because my youngest transferred to a private school, and I was all of a sudden in a position that I needed to earn money. So I started a couple jobs, and one of them is awesome, and I'm an Arbonne consultant and love everything about it. So yay for me. And it happened to just form my new identity and my new purpose. So that's something I strongly consider is figure out what your network is, and where you're going to continue to find stimulation, and what you're going to do for you.
So you were talking about finding the right balance between keeping friends that keep you sane and parenting the right amount. How did you balance that, and how would you recommend if someone's going into parenting, preteens, teens? How do you find that balance of maintaining yourself and your kids?
I think that I'm still, every day I'm working on finding that, but I definitely found that for me, being open about my challenges was crucial. Not keeping it a secret because I think I was raised, our generation, our parents' generation didn't talk about things like that, whatever those things were. And having people to bounce ideas off of and realizing that there's nothing wrong with you. You're going through the same struggles that everyone else is going through was so empowering and important for me. So just fast forward as my kids are I'm almost an empty nester, and it's crazy and amazing, but it's a huge identity crisis because what I've done for so long and my role in life is about to completely change. And not that I'm not still their mom, of course I am, but it's a different need. And I really am so grateful and encourage you to find what you need for you, because having that outlet, it can't just be for the kids. They need you to have your own thing and to have your own identity and to have your own friends that have nothing to do with the kids, that you have your own people that you get to talk about your life with, because those friends and that network is so important for you to have your own identity and to figure out who you want to be, because you absolutely get to be somebody outside of being a mom. And I don't ever want to say the word just, because there's no such thing as just a mom, but there is more you can do. And it's super kind of cool and fun that as my kids get older, I get to find this new identity and this new path that I get to follow and learn new things and new challenges and have my own new things that I get to do when I grow up. So I just encourage you to start thinking about, what do you want to do when you grow up, and you never have to stop growing up. Thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you have an amazing week, and I'll see you next week. Take care.